so tired. I mean, I think you can see it, right? It's tired. It's what it is. It's what you see. It's this tiredness that's in my bones. I'm so tired because I've been working so hard against what feels like such a constant, tremendous force opposing me. There's this story that I tell. You know how you have stories you refer to a lot. One of my stories, one of my favorite stories, one of my special stories is from God. 19 years ago, a long time ago. I was about 23. I was living in Santa Cruz, California, and my friend Nathan Bonk had come to visit, and we made a trip to the Monterey Bay, the famous Monterey Bay Aquarium, which kind of transfixed and hypnotized both of us, large portions of it. And there was this one particular element, this display. It was in the middle of a room, and it was a column, a big column. Probably wrap my arms around it that big. A big cylinder running from floor to ceiling. And in the middle of it, probably about this much of it, was a water tank. And in the water tank were these tiny silverfish. Sardines or anchovies, I think sardines. Maybe, I can't remember, one of the two. Tiny silverfish. Thousands of them. And they were all just swimming around this cylinder. Just like one fish, one silver wave going around and around in a circle. Just this clear plastic cylinder. Glass cylinder, whatever it was. And obviously it was depressing. And then mesmerizing but depressing. And then I looked closer and noticed that amongst the individual fish, there were those who suddenly turned back and swam against the tide. And then after a bit, they would just give up and go back with the way everyone else was going. But that pattern kept happening repeatedly. And then I found a fish that was doing that didn't stop. All the others, anywhere from a few seconds to several seconds, not more than half a minute, gave up and turned back and kept going the way that all the other thousands of fish were going. But I watched this one, and he wanted to swim this way. Or this fish wanted to swim this way, and nothing was gonna stop it. And I left the tank before if it ever did. And I didn't leave it to make sure that I didn't see it give up. I got to the point where I was like, I've watched this long enough. And I didn't map it onto my life at the time in any obvious or conscious or dramatic way, but it has stuck with me over the years, and recently in the last couple become stronger and stronger and stronger. And I don't think I need to pick it apart for you in terms of why it matters to me and how it makes me feel. So when I turned this video camera on just now, it was in response to a new thought. And I'm gonna try and give expression to that now and see if it comes. See if what comes is coherent and makes sense and is true. Or it's just something to make one wonder again. Make one feel something like a sense of wonder again. And the thought is that in this work that I do, this work that I pursue wholeheartedly with all the conviction available to me in my life, it has often been implied, pointed at, outright said, Jeremy, you're trying to save the world. Jeremy, quit trying to save the world. Jeremy, you can't save the world. Stop trying to save the world. And every time this has come up, I haven't been able to say, that's not what I'm doing, or no, you don't get it, or all I've been able to do is shrug and say, I know, but I want to, but I don't want to, but I know it's wrong and doesn't make any sense. It's some garbled set of forms, because I couldn't see the difference myself either. I just had to keep working. But in the last, I don't know, few months, sometime as winter probably turned to spring, I think, I started to see finally really clearly that no, that's not what I was about at all. That was not my mission or my purpose or my idea, or I had no interest in that whatsoever. The dream that I have had since as long as I can remember, and I forget about it for some measures of time and then it comes back again, is to make a place for all the people I love to do what they want to do and do what they can do and live in the work of their gifts and in the community and love that they give to one another. I just want to see my friends and my family and the people that I love and care so much. I want to see them blossom and be happy, and I can't do other things than things that will strive towards that goal. And what's so frustrating for me is that I so often end up in this dark, awful shame cloud of being an incredibly selfish person, taking all this time and these resources to his self, to himself, to myself, to my own ideas and references and thoughts about how things should be. And that's hard for me. It's really hard. I'm not saying this to make you think I'm a great person. To cast some kind of positive light on myself. That isn't the point. The point is I feel like the love in my heart can't come out, and that is an awful feeling. And I'll break if I can't let it out. I'll break. I'll be over. It's not something I can contain or keep inside. So I just have to find a way. And I'm sorry if watching me is difficult and painful at times. I'm really sorry. That's as bad as anything. Hurts as much as anything. But I can't stop trying. There's so much available beauty in this world. And to know that and to see the suffering that goes on at the same time, I just can't look away. I just can't. That's not how my heart is constructed. And I'm not saying that that makes me better or worse or anything other than that's just who I am. That's my limitation, if you want to put it that way. It is. I can't. I don't know if this has an end point. I mean, it does. All things do. maybe the end point is just that I'm trying so hard. And I think maybe it's gonna work. Finally, I think maybe it's gonna work. And I just hope to God it does, and I hope to God I'm right about what I'm doing. Because if I am, I'm pretty goddamn sure it's gonna make you really happy too. And I would love that. I would really love that. If that happened, then my happiness would become a happiness that is complete and perfect and has no end. And I'm tired and I've got more work to do. So the last thing I want to say is I want to ask you to please, all of you, everyone who could possibly hear what I'm saying right now, please, 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 know that there is love in this world, and that it is so real, and that it is waiting for you, and that it wants to come to you. You have to know that. You have to believe me, because it's so true.